the heat, but we don't wanna let go. We answer questions that we ask alone. I hear the words, but they're coming out an echo. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? There's a race, so you win, way to race. Why complicate that feeling hate when it suffocates at the bottom? Don't take the bait, just walk away, resuscitate your nirvana. I feel a way I never felt before. I finally found what I'm looking for. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? There's a race, so you win, way to race. Forever in our open arms, we're thankful we made it safe so far. We proudly show our battle scars because they made us true. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? There's a race, so you win, way to race. There's a race, so you win, way to race.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 46th episode of FNV. FNV is short for Friday Night VTubing, and this is a show where I, your host, Zarastro, interview various VTubers from all over the community. Tonight, our wonderful guest will be Zeromaster. Zero, please say hi, introduce yourself, and tell our audience something about you that they might not know. This can be any tiny little fact or any... I've got a frog in my throat. Or... yeah, just go. I'm rambling.
Hi, I'm Zero. I'm a lewd, neko, cyborg, succubus VTuber. I wear many hats. And fun fact about me, I'm a huge nerd for tokusatsu. Do you know what that is?
Tokusatsu? What is tokusatsu? I have no idea what that is.
Well, let me start off by asking you an important question. Do you know what Power Rangers is?
Yes.
Okay. So in Japan, there's a show called Super Sentai that's been going on since the 70s, and Power Rangers is made by using fight footage from that TV show, and then they film new footage to make a thing. So I'm a big fan of the Japanese stuff.
Okay. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah,
I'm learning stuff already.
There's also another show called Kamen Rider, which has been going since the 70s as well. Just think Power Rangers, but it's one guy and he has a motorcycle. That's basically Kamen Rider.
Yeah, it sounds like what I've seen of it. I've seen very little of it, but it seems about right.
Mm-hmm. So that's my weird fact, and now I've weirded out your entire chat.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure that they have some level of tolerance for it. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I did not know that that's how like Power Rangers and stuff works.
Yeah.
What did you say? Was it tokusatsu?
Tokusatsu, yes.
Tokusatsu. Okay.
It translated from Japanese. It just means special effects because those shows are known to have special effects.
Okay.
It could mean like stuff like superheroes and spandex or armor. Ultraman counts, Godzilla counts, like big kaiju stuff counts. So all of that's under the same spectrum. If I was to give an anime equivalent, The
One
closest
Punch.
thing I could give is SSSS Gridman,
Oh, good man. Yeah.
which is a sequel to a tokusatsu series called Gridman. So that's why I think a lot of people are getting interested in it. So
Do you
and
know what the SSSS stands for?
Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Superhuman Samurai
Because-
Sniper Squad.
Because in North America, when they made Gridman in the 90s, they called it Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. And they did the same thing they did in
Why?
Power Rangers. They just took the Japanese footage and filmed a new American footage to go with the fight scenes.
What the fuck? Why did they have
Yep.
to make the name like that though?
Because well, if it's America and it's the 90s, you need Power Rangers is super popular. You need a name that's really in there. Gridman probably doesn't work as a good buzzword for kids. So they had to make it as like ridiculous sounding as possible. That's why we have shows like Tattooed Teenagers from Beverly Hills or something. I'm trying to remember the name. It's another one of those shows. There's a lot of them. I could be here for hours talking about this stuff.
Well then, that kind of makes me think of recently I've been playing Yakuza, and it made me think of how this is my first time ever playing Yakuza, by the way. I'm starting at 0. And I found
love
out
Zero.
that the name it's called Yakuza in the West, but in Japan it's actually just called Ryuga Gotoku.
Yeah, or like a dragon.
Yeah, just like a dragon.
It's funny you bring up Yakuza because, like, speaking of Eski, he's the one who got me into Yakuza, and I played 0 and I played 1 on PS2. So you're in for a ride if you're playing 0. It's really good.
It's been amazing so far. I'll definitely say that. I've been enjoying it. It's been the only thing I've been streaming other than the FNV shows and maybe like the off Hollow Cure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you go onto my YouTube now, you'll just see Yakuza, 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 Yakuza.
Hey, man. Yakuza is great, especially with all the stuff that you can get in it and all the side stuff there is to do. Though, screw the cabaret and the side quest just to get another fighting style. No, thank you.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, it's fun. I enjoy doing the cabaret and the real estate, but I'm not gonna spend that much time on stream to just get the fighting style. Like, I'll do that again in the new game plus off stream after I've already played through it. And also, like, at the point where I'm now.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, if you do it through the first playthrough, it's gonna take at least 10 hours for each one. Because it's stupid. Anyways, continue what you're saying.
That means 5 streams for me. Because I only do about 4 hours at a time. That's
I go for like 2.5, 3 hours myself.
Yeah. So nah, I ain't got the time for that. But yeah, no, the point where I'm at now, it's I won't talk spoilers because I know even though it's a bit of an old game, it's just such a great game, and there are many people who haven't played it. Me being one of them since before, like a month or 2 ago. And it's like, I'm at the point where the plot is just too important for me to go do sub-quests or sub-stories about a guy who wants to change tax.
I have a recommendation for you. I don't know if you do reaction video type streams, but
don't usually know.
When you're done Yakuza 0, if you want to watch something, Maxor's review of Yakuza 0 is insane, and it perfectly explains the game, but it has spoilers in it, so that's why I say don't watch it yet.
So that's like after. I'll probably see. I watch stuff like that after stream, and I just watch it on my own because I'm not a great reactor, like not at all. If I watch something, I'm there to watch it. I'm not there to talk over it, and like I've got nothing else to say and add to it. The guy I'm watching knows more than me.
I just realized I hadn't subbed to you because your chat was like sub only mode. I'm like, wait, I subbed? I'm like, oh, on my other account. That's why. I have multiple YouTube accounts because some of you might not know I was a YouTuber before I was a VTuber, so I have a lot of content in the backlog.
Let me actually ask about that if you don't mind, because you said that you've been doing YouTube since for a long time. What type of content do you do on YouTube? You know, if you don't want to share the channel specifically, you can just give a broad overview.
Oh no, I can. So I started doing YouTube in 2006 when I was when YouTube was. This is going to make me sound really old. When YouTube was a video platform that could be copy and pasted onto MySpace.
Yes.
And I've changed my content multiple times. I started doing voice acting and like abridged and parody stuff. I did AMVs. I switched over to doing to basically what I'm doing now, which is I did game reviews for a little while. Well, I'm thinking of bringing that back. And now I use my YouTube channel for Let's Plays and shorts and my stream VODs. So I have two main channels that I have. There's one that's just called that is just named Zeromaster, but it goes by Zeromaster Reviews in the name. That's my review channel where I post stuff. Yeah. And my other one, Zeromaster LP, is my the one that I post my gameplay and my stream VODs and stuff too. So I do these days primarily I do my stream stuff, and then I have a show I do with my real friends and roommates called Power Plays, where we sit down and play video games and drink a little too much and then put it on the internet. So
drink a little too much. But I can get behind that, to be honest.
I don't want to self-promote or anything, but when there's a time, I can post the channels in the chat if anybody wants to check it out.
You could send it to me, and then I'll post it when we get like around the halfway mark when I do the plugs and all that.
Sure.
Yeah, then I'll plug it. I'll plug the main one that you want.
Well, I do like plugs.
I know, right? Just don't go sticking metal objects into them. You'll have a shocking experience. Trust me, I've done it.
I mean, there might be there's a certain kind of plug for that.
We're not talking about those kinds of plugs right now. Get your Asakoko out of here. But yeah, I think we've shot the shit for a while now already. So I'm just gonna jump in with the first question.
Do it.
What's your lore?
Okay. So when I started, I basically had no lore. And I'll explain why when we get to a later question. But when I decided I was going to take things more seriously, and I was like, okay, I was going to get a 2D model, which you're not seeing because this model is better than my 2D model, ironically. But when I was like, okay, I need to actually have lore. So the lore is another person who's also a VTuber, ironically, named Dr. Luxia, who is a genetically engineered cat person, but she's also a brilliant scientist. She's also a brilliant scientist. She was commissioned by a secret defense organization to create another cat girl with cybernetic enhancements. And so I was born out of that necessity. Somewhere along the way, I met the devil himself, who goes by Big Red II, who's also another VTuber. Roped me into being his servant, and so I was given succubus powers. And so basically, during the day, I'm a cyber-neko hero who my alibi is I'm a nurse at Luxia Laboratories.
Okay.
And I do have a nurse outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by night, I'm a succubus stealing souls for my lord and master.
Well then, I've got a game plan for you. Go save somebody who's in distress. Tell them that you'll shelter them for the night, and then steal their souls.
See, I tried that once with a dragon lady, and she really likes treasure, and then she said I was her treasure, so she started living in my quarters. And as many times as I said to Dr. Lux, I'm like, why is this dragon in my quarters? Can you tell her to leave? She's like, no, I want to study her. I'm like, you can't live with me.
She's still there.
And then hilarity ensued. Yeah, she's still there. She's sleeping on my bed right now.
Ah, I see. She's just like, yeah, no, this is mine now.
Basically, she her castle was basically destroyed. And she's like, I'm living here now. I'm like, okay.
Usually you save the princess from the dragon.
Well, I mean, we both have a princess as well, but she doesn't live in my quarters.
Ah, okay. The princess is somewhere else. She's busy with her own thing.
Yes. And this is all within lore.
Okay. Now that you said the thing about initially not having lore, I was the same, where also it's just like, I just started, I was like, fuck, wait, I probably need at least something. I was just like, what, I fucking died. There we go, that's my lore. I have amnesia, I don't remember anything from how I died. Maybe in the future I'll remember something. And then in the future, a year ago, I was like, hey, I got some new stuff. And then I got a bit more lore, and so it's ever expanding.
I mean, I was never super good at character creation or anything. I just saw VTubing and I was like, oh, that looks fun. And then I came here.
Yeah. I know that ties perfectly into the next question that I have for you. So, Zero, how did you initially, fall down the rabbit hole? What was your, I guess, yeah, what led to you becoming a VTuber? Who inspired you?
Okay, so I've been following VTubers since the very beginning, since Kizna I. I've been following the technology too, because back then, in 2016, 2017, however, whenever it was, if you wanted to be a VTuber, you needed thousands upon thousands of dollars of equipment. You needed a full-on mocap suit. You needed specialty cameras, stuff like that. It was something that I always paid attention because I love. Here's another fun fact about me. I love behind the scenes stuff for movies.
Yeah.
So I know how all that stuff works. And I always said to myself, I'm like, this is really cool. It's too bad it's super expensive. That you need a whole studio for.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2020 and all you need is a webcam and a decent model and you can be a VTuber. It takes no effort now.
Well, you don't even need a decent model. You can get the free Void model and suffer from same face syndrome.
And even a couple of years ago, I didn't use it a lot, but I had Face Rig back when it first came out, and I was very amazed at the facial tracking on this is really good. It's compared to now, it's crap, but back then it was wow, you can do this with your webcam. Yeah. And so going back into Tokusatsu, I've been streaming since I've had my Twitch account since Justin TV existed, if you know what that is.
I know what it is, what it was.
And so yeah, I was in the switch over in 2010, 2011 to switch over to Twitch. When they made everybody switch over.
Yeah.
So I've streamed on and off for a few years, but I didn't get serious about streaming until 2016. That's when I started streaming regularly. So I'd already been streaming for 3-4 years, and I kind of peaked at that point, and I was feeling pretty I don't know if streaming's for me. Maybe I should find something else to do. And then a friend of mine's like, hey, you should check out this VTuber. And I kind of knew what VTubers were because I knew about Melody because she had blown up. I saw the frickening when it happened, if you know what that is, wink, wink. And so I'm like, VTubers were in my mind, and he's like, hey, you should check out this VTuber. Her name's Iron Mouse. Also, by the way, she's singing all the Super Sentai openings. I'm like, excuse me?
You're like, what?
I'm like, wait, hold on. She's singing tokusatsu show openings, and you know me, as I said before, I'm a big nerd of that stuff. So I go check out Iron Mouse, and there she is. She's singing all the Super Sentai openings, and I was like, this is so cool. I didn't know you could do this. I didn't know and more I learned, I'm like, oh, she's just somebody using a webcam and a model, and I'm like,
well, now an iPhone.
Well, yeah, I'm on an iPhone now too, but back then it was like, I was like, this is amazing. I thought this thing that cost thousands upon thousands of dollars and needing a full studio and special cameras was impossible, but like now you're telling me all I need is a webcam and like maybe a model. I was like, this is crazy. So and you know what? I got to meet her early on before she got super, super big, because she had I think she had 80,000 followers when I followed her. And I got to meet her early on, and I said, hey, I'm thinking of becoming a VTuber. And she's like, do it. she said to me, she's like, you're going to be great. You already have the skills, to stream. Just become a VTuber. Just do it. And I was like, you know what? Fine.
I'm going to do it.
So my first model was a model I made really crudely in V-Roid Studio because I just wanted one to work with.
Yeah.
And then in May of that year, I think it was May. Yeah, I think it was May of that year. Maybe it was later.
What year was this?
2020.
2020?
It was June. It was at the start of June. I debuted the model, not this model in particular, but a version of the cat girl that you're seeing here.
Okay.
And so, you know what? I was going to give up on streaming, but it was Iron Mouse who encouraged me to keep going, and she's my inspiration.
Hell yeah. I like that. Now that you said that you started back in June, now that I remember, I think that was around the time when I also got into VTubers, because I debuted in October 2020.
Okay.
I've got my 2-year anniversary coming up now, next month, which is in October. Duh. Fucking, I'm stating the obvious. But yeah, and now that you mention it, I do think that, well, when I started, obviously my Iron Mouse has had that boom. But even then, without having spoken, with her or anything like that, I think she's still a pretty good inspiration for many people.
Yeah, there was a huge boom when the the thing that we're not supposed to talk about that happened in March 2020 happened. It happened around the same time. VTubers got a huge boost because there were people were told to stay at home, and Twitch and YouTube are the easiest access to stuff. So on YouTube you had HoloLive, and on Twitch you had what would eventually become VShojo. Yeah. Not to mention all the indies on both sites.
All of the indies.
So I just got thrust into this community at that time. So
I fell down the hollow hole.
Yeah. I'm not huge into HoloLive, except the EN girls. I really like them. I know a couple of streams.
I more fell down the clip hole, the hollow clip.
Same. I just don't have time to watch all their streams, unfortunately. That's the funny part about being a VTuber. You no longer have time to watch people.
Exactly. You see, that's the thing that I hate about networking and stuff on Twitter. It's like I don't know about you, but a lot of my followers and stuff on Twitter and a lot of my subscribers here on YouTube are other VTubers. But they're not good to have in your community because they aren't active in your community because they have their own to run.
Right.
And I'm just like, bruh, I've got 1K on Twitter. About 900 of those are VTubers, probably. And it's like everybody's running their own community and doing everything, doing everything by themselves most of the time. And it's just like nobody has time to watch streams. Like everybody starts out watching VTubers and then they become a VTuber themselves, and then you don't have the time anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Though I have learned to find some communities that I'm very involved with, and so I have started to find the time. But it's something that is can become difficult. So like most of what I do, I used to go to Mouse's stream all the time, but now she usually streams when I'm live, so I can't watch her. So now I just watch clips. So yeah, that's what I do. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time as a VTuber, and it's such a welcoming community, and it gave me the confidence to finally come out after being closeted for years. So just full stop for anybody wondering, I am gender fluid and pansexual. And if you want to know what my pronouns are, all of them.
Yeah, I just put they them in the description because when I'm not sure, I'm just like they them. It's the safest bet.
Yeah, that's
I don't care. It's the safest bet.
You can't offend me because I use all the pronouns.
And then you know, a question that I've had about gender fluidity, I think that's how you would say it, is like, is there at some point, I don't know, like how. Look, I'm old school when it comes to these things. I'm literally cishet.
Right.
I am as vanilla as can be. I'm using a gender bent model because I like titties, and that's about it.
That's how it starts for some people.
That's how it goes. That's not how it started. It only happened this year. Before this, I was kind of like, you know, a bit more bada, but also not entirely. Just
listen, I saw your previous model, and those are some muscles, I gotta say.
Those are some muscles, yeah. And I planned on, if I get another male VTuber model, which will be my last one, the last male one that I get, I want to get it from Jovru.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know if you know who Jovru is, but if you know of Invicta, the VTuber group.
I think so, yeah. The name sounds familiar.
Hella handsome VTuber men with like absolutely
okay, I know which
massive
one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's Jovru. So I want to become a Jobro at some point.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's just like I wanted to ask, you know, let me get back onto the original question. So when it comes to pronouns, are there like sometimes during the day when you're like, okay, I'm now want to prefer, like, you know, if it be, or now I want you to use he, him or something.
So it's weird for me because for most of my life, I was like, I've always been male, and, you know, in real life, I present male. I mostly present male. And so, and I'm comfortable with my male side. Like, there was a point where I thought I might be trans, but I'm not, because I still like my male side. So I'm just like, yeah, this is, you know, gender fluidity makes no sense for me. But as I was growing up, there were things that were, that I was really interested in that were, strictly, like, not strictly, but more specifically like feminine. And because of the way gender norms are in society, you know, I kept that as a secret. Like, me liking cute stuff, for example, was something I did for a long time. Okay. Around when I started streaming, just before I started streaming, I met a friend who opened me more up to things like that, to being able to express myself. And that's when I started having my self-discovery. But I didn't know where I was for a long time. And so basically, to make a long answer short, when I'm online, I feel more feminine, because I can be, I'm a VTuber character. Which is just basically me, but a lot more feminine than my IRL self, was just a lot more masculine. So I'll still talk about things like you brought up JoJo, and I'm like, I fucking love JoJo. like I could talk about that forever, or like my favorite anime.
Never watched JoJo's.
Oh my god.
I've been meaning to. I can play To Be Continued, at least the intro on my guitar, but I haven't gotten into watching it yet.
So you know how to play a small portion of Roundabout by Yes.
That one. I can play the intro of Roundabout. I've just forgot the name. I'm bad. I remember that it's Roundabout now. But
yeah, yes, no, which, by the way, they played live recently, and you know what? Those guys are pushing their 70s, but holy crap, they can still jam. So basically online I'm usually more feminine focused, but in real life I'm more male focused, and that sort of gives me the balance of being both. There was a time when I felt like I was putting too much into my online persona, and I started feeling like my male side start to go down, but I've now equalized myself up to be one of each. So so I can both be I can be both your bro and your girlfriend. Wink.
I was thinking when you said I could be both your bro, I was thinking I could be both your bro and your hoe.
literally me. I'm gonna use that from now on. I could be your bro and your hoe. Basically,
GM credits are Zarastro.
I can be your angle or your davil.
Your angle or your decibel is usually how I like to say that.
Oh my god.
That also makes me think of just another random stupid joke that I've heard of, which is just like, hail Satan, rain Satan, snow Satan. There is a high chance of, or there is very high precipitating, and all of these all of this news is coming from the local weather Satan. Instead of weather stations, all that shit. And I'm just like, bro, it's so stupid, but I don't know why, but I find it so funny. It's not supposed to be.
I'm gonna have to look that up later and like send it to Big Red.
Hell yeah. Just
like,
clip
my
this.
lord,
Just
look
clip
at
this
this.
part and send it to him. YouTube has clipping.
Yo, can we get an exclamation point clip in the chat? Oh wait, this is not Twitch. Oops.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Stream Elements to up their game and have that as a thing.
Actually, I do that in Nightbot. I don't know if Nightbot works on YouTube.
I've
but
seen Nightbot on YouTube, but I don't know how it works or if it will work or anything like that. But I could probably check it out.
Also, clipping on YouTube is weird because all it does is make a time-coded link of the original video. It's not a separate video, so if you try to download them, it downloads the whole video, which I'm like, no, I don't want that. I just want this small portion.
Yeah.
So
it is a bit weird.
Listen, I've been on YouTube for a long time, and when people are surprised that I stream on Twitch, it's because it's just more user-friendly. If YouTube becomes more user-friendly, Twitch is doomed.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah. And if they aren't so tight with their streaming permissions and stuff, like let's say I've had this discussion with other Team Red YouTube streamers as well before. That are like me, that have been streaming here for a while, and it's just like, if they could drop down the amount you needed to raid to like, let's say 500 instead of 1,000 subscribers, that will be amazing. If they could make special, like recently they released a new way of getting YouTube partner, which is you still need 1,000 subscribers, but if you get 10 million shorts views within 90 days, you've got partner. Versus, the need for 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months. If they can make it so that it's like you can get partner if you have, let's say there are 2 criteria you need to fulfill. You need to stream at least like 3 times a week, which I think is fair. 3 times a week, it's not that much, and you could literally start to stream for like an hour and then that's it. That counts as a stream. And let's say you have to hit a average concurrent of maybe 10.
Right.
I think that's fair.
So I actually wanted to discuss that real quick because I used to be a YouTube partner before the adpocalypse.
Okay.
And when they changed the rules to that you had to have 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 watch hours in the last
4,000.
year, it used to be 10,000.
Oh shit.
So I did the math, and I don't know how to calculate watch hours because I wasn't streaming at the time. I was doing just YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But I was like, I post at that time I was posting 2 15-minute videos a day, 7 days a week. And I was like, if one person watches both of those videos, that's a half hour a day. And I'm like, And if they watch, and my their algorithm must be different, because I did the math and I'm like, I should have like something like 350,000 like watch hours, and they're saying I don't even have 10,000, so they're taking away my partner. And I was like, I don't understand why they're taking it away. But to be fair, I never got paid on YouTube. The only time I ever got paid was through Twitch and through sponsorships. So now that YouTube's lowered it, and I know that there's a whole controversy with Twitch going on right now.
Yeah.
And I've looked at going back to YouTube for streaming like every so often, maybe not like as frequent as I do on Twitch, but at least just to test the waters, get my numbers back up, because I recently started doing YouTube Shorts, and I'm starting to see views I haven't had since 2012 on YouTube. Like I used to get like thousands of views per video, and I barely make 100 views a video now. So the shorts are giving me like thousands upon thousands of views, and so like that's why I'm going to people. I'm like, use YouTube Shorts; they're really useful.
Yes, I know they're useful. I just don't have the mind for them. Which is like, it's honestly probably one of the things that is keeping me back the most from the potential that I can get from YouTube, which is YouTube Shorts, and also I guess TikTok. I just do not know how to make stuff under 60 seconds and like, you know, make it funny-ish so that people can like want to come over and like, you know, see stuff happen live. And like even then, I've put effort into these shorts. Like one I did about 2 months ago ish, when I did Red Dead, where something extremely fucking funny happened, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna turn this into a short like immediately after stream, and I did. I put it on Shorts, and I put it on TikTok, and the short got 94 views currently, and I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? It's just a flop. So yeah, it's weird. Some of my shorts do really well, and then other ones get like 2 views. So I'm thinking maybe I should just re-upload that short, because I'm really bummed that it fucking flopped.
So before Twitch had the ability, or at least the Twitch bots had ability to just make a clip when I press a button or type a command, I used to use their uptime command to tell me when something would happen. So if something happened in a game, I would say to somebody, can somebody type clip in the chat, like !clip, because the Nightbot would take the time code, and then when I was done, I could take the downloaded VOD, find that time code, and then just cut that part of the video. So it's a little, just a little tip. Even if you don't have a way to make clips automatically on YouTube, make a command that will just tell you what time it happened, and then you can go back and cut it yourself and then turn that into a short, because it's stupid easy to do that. And even if you're not sure how to do video editing, like there's tons of tutorials and free programs. I'm
pretty savvy, and I've also got a friend that is basically my editor. I've just not given her work, which is a shame on me, because that was part of our deal. She's now my editor, but I've barely given her work, and I'm like, bruh, I'm not using my editor.
So, and this is where it becomes useful to have a command, because you can say to your editor, here's all the time codes of the best moments. Because I'm a video editor myself. I offer my video editing services to other VTubers, actually. And so when they come to me, they're like, hey, can you make a highlight reel of this VOD? I'm like, okay, do you have time codes for your favorite moments? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to charge you extra time, because I have to go find them now. Yeah, so
because that's also why I haven't gotten into doing highlights and stuff, because like I want to ask her, hey, can you just like find funny shit? But then it's like, but then that requires her to watch through 4-hour VODs at a time.
Right.
For stuff that like might even just be mid-funny, not even funny.
Well, I don't know if you have a Stream Deck either.
I do not.
But
unfortunately,
even if you just go into your Stream Element spot and just make a command that tells you what time something happened, because your chat's on the screen. You can go back to your VOD later. You can give the VOD and be like, okay, here's my VOD. Also, these time codes are the moments I think are the funniest. So that's what I do, because not only do I edit videos for other people, people edit videos for me. So I have a friend named Soda I've known for like 10 years. So when I give him a VOD, I'm like, okay, here's the VOD. Also, here's all the moments I really liked. You don't have to use these, but you can. And usually he doesn't. He usually just picks his favorite. But anyway, he appreciates that because he's like,
Yeah.
I can find stuff around it that I like. Because usually, as you can tell, I don't shut up. So,
and I mean, funny shit leads to more funny shit. And eventually, you know, there's a pipeline of shit that's funny.
oh my goodness.
Don't you just love that analogy?
It's funny. Like, I don't like, I'm not gonna dox or anything, but when you told me where you're from, I'm like, I wonder if like one of the Bill Gates machines is out there that turns shit into drinkable water.
Also, don't worry. Everybody knows I'm South African. If that's what you mean.
Yeah. Because like I watched the documentary on Bill Gates making those machines. I'm like, how did he make a machine that turns poop into drinking water? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it's and also the energy that's used for the machine to do that can power an entire city. So the excess power that it makes can be used to power other cities in like areas in like Africa and other areas where they maybe I don't know. I don't know where part of
we
Africa
sure
is.
as hell don't have that, because if we did, we wouldn't be dealing with load shedding right now.
Yeah. So like if they can like make those faster, oh my god, it's crazy. Like I'm not like, oh, Bill Gates is the best person ever. I still think there's some shitty stuff he's done, but like the fact that he found a way to like fix not only a clean drinking water problem but also electricity problem is awesome. And I'm hoping that more of those machines get built soon so that more areas in Africa and other places that have developing sections of their country can get clean water, because it's a huge problem. People are dying from
as an of the
people are
machines,
dying
not
from
of
curable diseases.
Yeah.
So because they don't have access to clean water, so that's why he's doing that. So
yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of
anyways,
fucking shit distillers.
yeah, literally, he to show it, he took a literal jar of human feces, put it in this machine, and then drank the water that came at the other side. I'm like,
well, I mean, if you know, that makes me think of the guy who invented the elevator. You know, people were like, "Nah, I don't trust this thing," and he's like, "Fine, I'll go into it." There you go. That's one way to show the trust.
The most smug part is after he drank the water, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, the city over there is being powered by this machine."
What the fuck?
If you're telling me that I can power my house with my own poop, then I'm sold.
Hell yeah. I mean, the amount of shit I talk.
I'm sorry, not that kind of shit's gonna work. But anyways, enough talking about shit. Let me. Sorry, I keep derailing your.
Hey, no worries, no worries. You know, I don't remember where we were, so I'm just gonna go on to the next question.
Okay. Sure.
Actually, wait, no. We were talking about like YouTube Shorts and those kinds of things, and how you can set up the bot to just put in a timestamp. And you know what? With that, I think I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna check out Nightbot, see what I can get Nightbot to do, because as you can see,
I think the Stream Elements bot has an uptime command that you can use. That's the command that Nightbot uses, and I think Stream Elements is based on Nightbot.
I think it does. Yes, I do. It does have it, and it is enabled, so I should theoretically be able to go and just say uptime right now, and it should work. But see, the issue is I also had to make a bot check command, because the bot ain't always in chat. Like right now.
Right.
Do you see the bot posting your socials in chat?
I do not know.
Exactly. It should be. It should be posting your socials in chat.
Yeah, that might be connections. I know Nightbot works with YouTube because I can sign in with my YouTube account. I just don't know how it connects to it. So I'll figure that out on my own.
I mean, I've signed into my Stream Elements with my YouTube as well, and it does work. And a lot of the times it does work. It'll probably wake up later in the stream.
I also find sometimes when I load up, even because I use Stream Elements as well for stuff, like just for notifications and stuff on my Twitch, I notice a lot of the times I have to re-log into it before stream because it logs itself out for some reason. And so I'll relog in and then and then I got to reconnect all my stuff. And it's like, if I forget to do that, I have to do it while I'm streaming and it's a pain in the butt. So
Yeah.
it's not, Stream Elements is not perfect, but I like them over the other options.
True. There's like, I used to use Streamlabs way back. I used to use Streamlabs, and I think I started out streaming with Streamlabs because that's what people said, it's the best. It's the best for user-friendly stuff. And then after my first like 2, 3, maybe 4 months of streaming, I saw on Twitter that somebody said like, no, don't use Streamlabs, especially not if you're like on a more medium PC. That's not like, a top of the range thing, because Streamlabs uses like so much power. And then I installed OBS and I ran it and I saw, wait, what the fuck? When I'm not streaming, OBS runs at like 0.5 to 1% CPU usage, where Streamlabs idles at 10. I'm just like, bro, what? Why did I not make this change sooner?
If it wasn't just the fact that the Stream Elements OBS program runs harder on the machine and other reasons, it was the leak that happened.
Oh yeah,
or not the leak, but the hacking that happened, which was really a huge like it really was just a huge flaw on their part. It's like I work in IT IRL. And so when I see security flaws like that, I just shake my head. It's like when the PSN went down. It went down because their version of Apache was old.
Wow.
All they had to do was update Apache, something they tell you about all the time. And the PSN went down for 30 days back in the PS3 era.
Oh my.
30 days.
Because they didn't update their Apache.
Because they didn't update one thing. People died working to get that back up and running. So they had to update one thing, and that's why people were able to hack it so easily. So I'm like, when I see stuff like that with Streamlabs, I'm like, nope, this is a security risk now.
And then not to mention, like, what was it last year, or was it earlier this year? I don't know. It feels, the last fucking 2 years feels like one long year. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, legit. But there was at some point when, the whole Streamlabs controversy happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the massive exodus of people like, fuck Streamlabs. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, fuck Streamlabs. I've not been using it for like a year, but fuck Streamlabs.
The thing also that's a pain in the ass is I disconnected everything from Streamlabs, but up until a couple of months ago, I was still getting emails from them saying like, here's your stream stats. I'm like, I disconnected everything from you guys. How are you giving me stream stats?
How are you?
I don't even like, and then eventually I guess it figured out I'm not using your service, and they're just like, we're just gonna, remove you from our service. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. But it's just, man. Anyways, I'm sorry. I can talk about technical stuff all day. You've got questions for me, and I'm overtaking your
No. Tangents are the lifeline of the show.
Awesome.
Just one last thing. Even though the Stream Elements bot is not active in chat right now, it still works more often than the Streamlabs bot did.
Wait, can I do that? Does it work when I do it? No. Damn.
I mean, everybody should be able to do it. It's set so that everybody can do it, but the bot is not here right now, unfortunately, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe I should quickly part it and then join it again. Like, let me log out and then fucking... No, that's too much. That's too much effort.
The log out, log back in.
Yeah.
I have to do that every week, almost.
Every week?
With the newest version of OBS, it stayed logged in longer. I've only had to reconnect it like one time.
I've never had to reconnect my Stream Elements.
I think it's because of the way it works with Twitch. It's just like, the way you can tell is if when I go into OBS and I check like my alert box and it goes, uh-oh, you're not connected. And I'm like, but it says I'm logged in. And so I have to log out and log back in. I'm like, Stream Elements, I love you, but why?
Another thing that I'm not too fond of on YouTube is, even though I've got subscriber only mode on, it doesn't catch all subscribers. but it catches a lot of them. And especially recently with more people using, have my subscriptions public, having that on, especially other VTubers, because if you have it on, anybody can just raid you and whatever and stuff like that. At least that was how it worked before they changed it like a week or two ago. So, when I see another VTuber or something, or someone subscribed, and I'm like, hey, I got your notification. Cool. Thank you. Just like I got the notification for yours when you subscribed like 40 minutes ago, and also someone else 25 minutes ago, Turtle Marlowe. Thank you.
Yes, I didn't want to point that out, but Turtle's one of my peeps. Shout out to Turtle.
Yeah. We're at the 50-minute mark. I'm quickly going to do the plug. So also just real quick, the bot, it should be saying this, but we don't usually do too much chat interaction until we reach the Q&A section. That's just so that we can focus on the interview and with the guest. Thank you for understanding. The bot should be posting that like every 5 minutes or so. Sometimes it posts it like 3 times in a row directly after each other, and I'm like, just bruh, it's there. They get it. I guess that's better than it not posting it at all. But yeah. So
I mean, I could just be like this and be like, stream elements, wake up. Wake up.
I don't think that's gonna work. That'll just get my video age restricted.
Sorry.
I'm joking. I've never been age restricted, and even then I can just make a video of like YouTube is something, and ride the clout. I'll make a try not to get age restricted challenge. But yeah, so we'll quickly do some plugs. So make sure you guys go check out FNV on fnv.crd.co. That's the show's homepage, where you can find links to everything to do with the show. You can find links to the audio-only platforms. The show is currently available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Anchor FM. You can also find the link to my YouTube there, where these episodes are streamed live every Friday night. Otherwise, if you wish to type it out, that would be youtube.com/ZarastroCH. That is ZARASTROCH. I'll say it again. ZARASTROCH. Otherwise, make sure you go check out my wonderful guest, Zero, over here. On Twitter and Twitch, it is just Zeromaster. One word on both of them. And that's about it.
Yeah.
You said you have a YouTube link you want me to plug that you haven't sent me yet.
Oh, okay. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up Twitch in my browser, and I'm gonna hit my link for my thing on my Stream Deck for it, so I can just copy and paste it.
You're just gonna go into the chat. I'll have your Twitch stream open just so that I can go to chat. Like I opened it earlier. I'll go to chat, and then I'll see it right there, and then I can just quickly copy paste it. Now hosting
Twitch chat is
SDO.son.
broken right now.
Is it broken?
Like, yeah, because I'm hitting the button on my freaking thing and it's not.
I think it's because you're hosting Eski.
It shouldn't matter. No, yeah, it shouldn't matter. I can use my own chat. There we go. Okay, now
You
it's
can
working.
now elevate a message in Zeromaster's channel. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does
So here,
elevate the
this
message
is-
mean?
This is exactly what Nightbot did.
It's just a super chat. Elevate your message. That's just a super chat. What the fuck? $5.75 for a 30-second super chat. Excuse me, what? $5 for a 30-second super chat? Are you insane?
That's
And $115 US for 2 minutes and 30 seconds for a super chat.
That's crazy.
If I pay $100 for a super chat, it'll be up there for 30 minutes.
So anyways, I sent you the
new.
links. I have 2 channels that I use.
I'm only posting
The two
one.
that I
Which one do you want? The Zeromaster or the Power Plays?
Post the Zeromaster LP one, because that's the one where
LP.
people can find my VTuber stuff.
Alright, then there you guys go. Make sure you go check out words. Make sure you go check out Zeromaster over there as well on youtube.com/Zeromaster LP. That's your Let's Play.
Yeah,
channel.
that's what the LP stands for.
See, I'm smart. I'm a YouTuber. You know what the CH stands for in mine?
Is it channel?
No. It's corn hub.
Oh. Oh. No.
I'm
Well, we're gonna
considering,
have
right?
to talk about that later.
No. We'll not be talking about that. You have to leave at 6.
Yeah. Well, I have your Discord info. You think I'm just never gonna talk to you again after this? Come on.
Fuck. Right. You're right. But yeah, okay. We're gonna see if we can make some progress on some of these questions so that we can have maybe a bit of Q&A at the end.
Yeah.
Although recently we've not been doing too much Q&A. Because I don't know, something with like time zones and stuff, people can't necessarily be here, and also a lot of my regulars are either getting very busy or they're South African and they're also suffering from load shedding just like me. So you know, it's sometimes the Q&A doesn't happen because there aren't enough people for a Q&A, but whatever.
Well, how about this? If they're watching this after it's streamed and they want to leave a comment down below, which totally helps YouTubers, wink, wink, I'll respond to any questions that people put down with my own YouTube channel.
Are you gonna know though when it happens?
Oh, I'll come back to this. I'll keep this open in one of my tabs.
Oh damn!
I saved tabs in my browser.
How long you gonna have it open for?
Well, I mean, I'll give it a few weeks just to see if people want to ask questions. I like to give people the opportunity to, especially if they can't be here to watch it live. So
I see. Also, I don't know why I wanted to see if I could at you in the title, and for some reason my keyboard swapped over to the Japanese keyboard layout. So when I pressed Shift 2 to get at, it gives me an apostrophe, because that's how it works on the Japanese keyboard, and I don't know why it just randomly swapped over, but
it's really funny you said that, because I have a ritual now when me being in IT, I set up Windows a lot. So I have a ritual that whenever it asks me what keyboard layout to choose, I do not choose the Canadian one. I choose the American one, because if I choose the Canadian one, it will switch to French on its own whenever it wants to. And my buddy, a buddy of mine, he's a YouTuber, Canadian Jutsu. It used to happen on his computer all the time. I would just hear him yell randomly when we were chatting, "Fucking French!"
Like, why the fuck is this thing French now?
He's like, "Why is my keyboard keep switching to French?" I'm like, "Dude, it's because you have your keyboard region set to Canada. Just set it to United States. It won't switch ever again."
Honestly, mine's set on US, but it's also got the option for South Africa, and I don't know what will happen if I put it there. Like, is it just randomly gonna start typing in Xhosa? I have no idea. Am I just gonna randomly start typing Zulu? Maybe.
Is there an African dialect that uses like accents on words or special characters that aren't in the that aren't Romanji? Because then it will let you do that. That's what happens with French. It gives me the ability to do accents or accent aigus on stuff. So
no,
that's probably why.
I mean, Afrikaans uses a lot of accents, but they're all stuff that you can just get with like the alt codes. Like, I know so many alt codes because, well, my IRL name uses one which is the E with the acute on it. And obviously I'm not going to say my whole name, but it has the E with the acute on it, which I'll just quickly post it in chat. It's that thing.
Oh yeah, in French we call it an accent aigu.
How would you pronounce that E?
In French, I think it's I can't remember if it's E or E.
I think it's
or maybe I.
But here that's A.
Yeah.
But otherwise we also have like what's 1 for 8 maybe? 1 for 8. No, that's Swedish. 1 3 4. No, that's also Swedish. 1 3 2. No, that's also German and Swedish.
I mean, sorry. How many languages do you speak?
I speak English and Afrikaans. I've previously started learning Swedish. For a while this year I was studying Japanese, and my hiragana is pretty aight. My katakana is absolutely dog shit, and my kanji is worse, but I know more kanji than katakana.
It's funny. I'm French Canadian descent. and I stopped taking. I was given the option to stop taking French in 10th grade.
You
so I know more Japanese now than French.
Understandable.
Like I can start by saying bonjour, je m'appelle Zero, que l'âge it's 34 in French. Que l'âge I'm rule 34 years old. That's all you need to know.
Ah, okay. Rule 34 years old.
Hey man, that was a badge of honor for me. The day that I became a tag on Rule 34, I was like, oh, I'm famous now.
Wait, you have your own tag there?
Yeah, somebody uploaded a piece of art, spicy art that I got done, and somebody told me, they're like, "Hey, you have a tag on Rule 34 now." I'm like, I do.
Yeah. I remember when
Yes.
one of my friends did some spicy art, and one of her other close friends stole it and uploaded it on Rule 34 against her wishes and put her name in the tags, and now she has a Rule 34 tag.
I think there's just the one image up there right now. Yeah, there's still just the one image, but I have my own tag.
Ah, so you can just go to Zeromaster on Rule 34, or is it a different name?
TOS.
TOS. Don't worry, this is YouTube. I've been banned before.
Right.
I'll get back again.
Right. Yeah. Don't tell me about getting banned on YouTube. Oh boy.
Yeah,
I have
no, it
accounts.
happened during May, a week before my 21st birthday.
Mhm.
When I don't know if you remember, there was that bot issue.
Oh yeah.
It happened with Kobo. It happened with a bunch of other big YouTube streamers and like a couple Hololive people and Niji Sanji people. It happened to me. I saw the message in chat. I was like, nah, that bot's instantly gone. Like I was on my YouTube studio page because I was busy ending the stream. I was doing a bit of just chatting. Then I instantly deleted the message, but the profile pic still got onto my screen for like 2 seconds. And then I ended the stream 3 minutes later, or 3 minutes after that. And I quickly went to go take a piss. And when I came back, I saw my mod and my editor had DM'd me, and she's like, Zara, what's happened to your channel? And I'm like, fuck me. No. And then I checked and I'm like, your channel has been terminated for violating the YouTube community guidelines. And then I was like, well then, I guess I can get added to that list now of banned VTubers who fucking got sex-botted out of existence.
I didn't have that issue, but I remember like a bunch of my old YouTube videos got claimed, and like because thank goodness YouTube's content ID system is better now.
Yes.
Because back in the day, you were just banned. Like 3 strikes and you're out. Now they're like, oh, you just can't monetize this video.
Yeah, now it's claims
we're gonna
and
run
not
ads
strikes.
on it.
Yeah.
So luckily, all I had to do was counterclaim all of them, just to say none of this because all of them were all my own stuff. I'm like, none of this video belongs to this company.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about. And with the whole counterclaim thing, if they don't respond in 30 days, which bot accounts typically don't,
Yes.
that's
a new thing, though.
Your videos back.
That's a new thing, though. The appealing, where if you appeal a claim within 30 days, if they don't respond, then the claim gets released. That's a semi-new thing, isn't it? Like, I saw that come out, I think 2 or 3 months ago.
That's been around for years.
But I think that's like
they made.
You mentioned with counterclaiming.
I think the only change they made recently, that is if they come back and say still no, this is our content, you're no longer, if you respond to that, you're no longer saying I'm ready for a legal battle kind of thing. It's now there's a discussion that's had, because it used to be the way YouTube works is it used to be you get a content ID match or a copyright strike. You respond to it and say, I have rights to this content, blah, 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 fair use, whatever. And if the company responded and said, no, we own this, the next response you do means it's no longer YouTube is there to help you. It is now you are basically saying, I am ready for litigation.
Yeah.
So
And then you're just like, I ain't got the money for that.
because after the second time you respond, if the company responds a second time, then it goes to court.
Yeah.
So now that's changed. So like if a company does come back and says, no, we own this content, and you respond to it again, now it's no longer a legal battle because YouTube will investigate it preemptively before it is. You will still have to sign something saying that, you know, should it come to litigation, you know, YouTube does not represent me, yada yada, because it's to be fair, it's not YouTube's job to represent you in court. So, but
they ain't got the time or money for that. Like
usually the
YouTube's
second
got a lot of
time,
money, but they ain't got the money for that to represent every single fucking person who has to go to litigation.
Usually by the second time, the companies just give up and let you have your video back with monetization. So it takes 2 months, but you can make it work in your favor, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I had that happen with so I did an a cappella cover of Leave Her Johnny Leave Her, which, you know, it's a fucking sea shanty. There's no copyright on that because nobody has the original rights to it. You can have the rights to a certain performance, but me doing everything a cappella, you know, it's literally just my voice and some reverb. You can't claim that because that's not your rendition. You can't claim it. And when they said that, okay, you can now dispute it, and then if they don't respond within 30 days, I was like, hell yeah, fuck you, Latin author. Fucking UMG claiming my shit. Falsely claiming my shit, and then now it's gone. Now the video can be watched without ads again until I get monetized and I put ads on it.
Exactly. I just looked at the time and I realized there's still a lot of questions, so maybe I should let you ask the next question.
There are. So we'll go into the next question. So we talked about inspirations and influences earlier, but now we're gonna talk about your design. So what were some of your influences or inspirations behind your design?
So initially, like I said, going back to when I was talking about the lore stuff, I didn't really have any lore planned. I've always liked the you know, typical anime fan. I've always liked the design of like cat girls and stuff, but I always thought, like, it's gonna sound really awkward, but I always thought it was really cringy when people had it as their like profile pics and stuff. And so I was like, I don't want to be known as, as a cringe anime fan. Ooh, woo. Then I played a game called Phantasy Star Online 2. And so I played a class, I think it was called Cast, I'm trying to remember, where basically you're mecha cat girls, which so I was like, you know what? I'll try the whole cat girl thing. I'll go with purple hair, I'll get red glasses, yada yada yada. And so I really enjoyed playing that. And then I was like, when I was becoming a VTuber, I'm like, what should I make my character? I'm like, wait, I was like, I have ideas for my character in PSO2 and Phantasy Star Online 2. I'm like, what if, I know what she looks like when she's in combat, but what does she look like when she's like, on her days off?
Yeah.
Like when she just wants to chill out and play games and whatnot. And so I hired an artist called Nogatsu on Fiverr, really talented artist. And I said, hey, I want you to draw this character, but can you put her in like a long sweater and, I don't know, kitty socks or something? I want her to be comfy. Long sweaters have always been really comfy to me. And so they drew the picture. I'm like, that looks so cute and comfy. I'm like, this is it. This is going to be my VTuber design, which is funny because like so many VTuber designs are so crazy and out there.
Yeah.
And so I felt when I first started, I felt like a basic bitch because I was like, I have a black sweater and long kitty socks. Hi.
I mean, literally me too. I'm in a fucking top tank top.
Yeah, but look, you've got streaks in your hair. You've got a freaking like crazy like jacket. Like that's even more insane than my design. So what I did here's the advantage of having a Vroid model as your first model. ladies, gentlemen, and others. I went outfit crazy. I gave my model to friends and hired people to make new outfits for my model. So I literally have toggles for a bunch of outfits. I can change my outfit just by pressing a button. If you're like, wear something else, I can. Because remember, when you chatted me, I'm like, okay, what outfit do you want? And you're like, just wear the casual one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I was like, wait, I don't get what some of these outfits, like, you said, wait, what was the list you gave me? Let me quickly find that. The list you gave me was, where is it? Okay, there you sent them all.
Well, why don't I just show
there
the chat?
Here are your choices: comfy China dress, knockout city uniform, nurse, red dress, yakuza, or armor. And I was like, bro, that's a lot of choices. Just give me. So, at that point, I was just like, just give me your normal, whatever you normally wear.
So, you know, China dress.
China dress, boom, just like that.
Boom.
No need for changing.
My knockout city uniform.
Hmm.
I know it's not quite Christmas yet, but I have a winter outfit.
Ah. I mean, winter just passed here, so.
Oh, okay. Well, perfect.
It's just becoming spring.
You know, I have a red dress for fancy occasions.
Yeah.
And the one that I like to use the most, and I'm gonna have to change my hairstyle for this. I am a nurse.
Ah. I'm not gonna lie, you look like you belong in a Pokemon Center.
Please leave your Pokemon with me. I'll heal them right up. do.
I've never played Pokemon.
Oh.
Never got into it. My brother did though, but I never did.
Do you have a Switch?
No, that shit's expensive.
I was gonna say, if you have a Switch, I'm getting you a copy of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, so you can at least experience it.
My brother wants to get a Switch, but as I said, that shit's expensive.
Or if you're on PC, there is Nexomon.
Nexomon.
Which is like a ripoff of Pokemon, but it's actually really good.
My brother.
There's also that new game coming out.
ROM hacks.
There's also a new game coming out that's basically Pokemon with guns.
What?
So you could get that when it comes in on PC. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically Pokemon with guns. You don't catch Pokemon, you shoot them to get them.
You shoot them.
Yeah.
Well. Hi, be right back. I'm quickly gonna go shoot some Pokemon, mom.
When I find that trailer, I'm sending it to you.
We'll move on to the next question then. So,
yes.
We talked about your inspirations earlier. So, who or what inspires you now?
You know what? I think my biggest inspiration is, you know how I mentioned the princess and the dragon lady before?
Yeah.
So one of them is actually a VTuber named Kitar Princess, but she goes by Sky. And the other one, she's not a VTuber, but her OC is the dragon lady. Her name is Almighty Kurama. We just call her Kurama. Those two are the ones who inspire me the most. They're both also my partners. So in this, so and Sky she's incredibly talented. She made some outfits for me for my model. She made my layout for when I did my Live 2D debut, the one that I use now. She made my logo. She's just awesome, and I love her, and I'm probably embarrassing her right now if she sees this. And then Kurama is basically, I'm
gonna find her and send the timestamp later.
Her nickname is Kurmama because she mods for a lot of people, and we have a meme called "Don't Anger Kurmama" because she'll ban you.
Oh no! Luckily, I can't get banned on my own channel.
Don't anger the fire breathing dragon lady. She will ban you. And she's just a rock, and like all mods, she bullies me constantly. But I also know, but she's also shorter than me and at perfect head pat range.
Yes.
So,
or knuckle sandwich.
no. But those two are the ones that keep me going. They keep me inspired to keep going. There's been times, like I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm peaking again, because I peaked a few times as a streamer, and if it wasn't for those two, I don't think I'd be going as much as I do. So I appreciate them. It's I don't mean to do plugs, but Kitar Princess on Twitch and Twitter, she deserves way more love than she gets.
How do you spell that?
Well, Kitar, I can just spell it out into you. It's like this. Sorry, I don't mean to plug somebody else on your show, but like,
I see.
You asked who it was.
That's like a guitar, but it's Kitar.
Yeah, it's
Is
a
it like
Kitar.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I see.
So Sky and Karama are the ones that keep me going, and I collab with them a lot. So if you've watched my streams, you know who they are. But in any case, like, even if you're not, you'll get to know them if you get to know me. So they're kind of stuck to me on each hip.
On each hip?
Yes.
You've got more than one hip.
One on each hip. I got 2 hips.
You've got...
Listen, I'm thick. I got big hips.
As long as you don't have more than 2. Because that means you've stolen one from my grandma that needs it.
No, just the 2.
Okay. What about the 2 hips standing by your hips? The other hips standing next to your hips.
Oh, they're glued to my hips, so they can't leave.
Oh, okay. Seems fair. I thought you said that the one was sleeping on the bed.
Yeah,
the other one was out. Did they just leave their hips there? They just, like, disconnect. Fucking. Have you ever had?
They're working.
Have you ever had like a doll that can just pop off? The legs.
I don't mean they're
next
literally
to
glued to me all the time. I just mean that.
I know. I'm just pulling your leg and pulling
your
your
over
hips.
here. Listen, I'm just
pulling your legs.
Please don't do that. Don't pull their legs off.
I didn't say off. I'll ask you the next question then. So, with that then, what about VTubing fascinates or interests you the most?
It lets people be something they want to be. I like the VTubers who feel more natural, like themselves, and then that just the character is just like, and maybe they're just a little bit exaggerated to who they are. I have a friend who did a character for a bit, and she just got tired of doing the character because it was too exhausting, and she's like, I'm just gonna be me. And I liked her a lot more as a VTuber for that, because she was just real and was herself. I do like the ones that do have characters, but the ones that I like the ones that feel real. It just feels like an extension of the self, especially, and I'm sure you've noticed this.
Yeah.
There's a big amount of trans people in the VTuber community.
There are.
And one of the things that a close friend of mine who's a trans man told me is that one of the things that helped with his dysphoria early on was being able to play video games as male characters. And so there's a lot of trans femme people in the VTuber community, and one thing that helps them is they get to use an avatar of their preferred gender.
Yeah.
Or of the type of person they want to be. So it helps a lot of people, and it lets you see who people really are, because nothing against people who stream without or with a camera. That's totally fine. I have friends who do that.
Yeah.
It's different. Because with a VTuber, it gives you something special that you don't normally get. I know the meme that like, oh, my 2D girls are coming to life kind of thing is the thing. Like we basically all can become our own waifus.
Bro, I am my own waifu.
Like literally, yes. Like, why do you think I got so much art of myself?
Exactly.
So, but no, yeah, I think it's really cool that people can express themselves in a way that they can't do it in real life.
Yeah.
And if they want to be a character, sure, if that's fine. It's not as appealing to me if somebody's playing a character, but there are some, I'll admit, that I watch that are doing that. But if it's just them, but they're in, the type of skin that they want to be in, compared to what they do in real life, I think that's really cool and really positive out there.
Yeah, no, okay, I like that. I have also, with what you said with how many you say fuck. How many trans people there are?
Sorry, I'll give it back.
Yeah, give me back my tongue, you bitch. I can't stick out my tongue. I don't have an iPhone. I have mouth X on Android. Very slight bit, because I didn't know how to properly rig it, but I have it. But yeah, no, with like how many trans people there are in the community, when I initially got my gender bend, I was like, bro, I don't want to like offend someone, but I like tits. And I like my model.
That's the great thing, because I'm gender fluid. A lot of people assume when they see my model that I'm trans. Yeah. And I just let people know I'm like, I am not trans, but I'm gender fluid, and this is what I want to do. It's also helped for people when the hate raids started. People would come to me and try to use the very triggering things for trans people, and they would get upset when it wouldn't work on me, because it's like, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
I'm not, I'm expecting this. I did actually gain like something like 2,000 followers from a bot raid once. Oh. And so that got fixed. So I don't have 4K followers on Twitch anymore, but it was something where like, I thought, they went after me instead of somebody else who it would affect, because I did have a friend who got things put in their chat that made them feel bad about themselves. And so, you know what? When sometimes I'll get people in my chat and they'll be like, are you a boy or a girl? I'm like, hi, welcome to the chat. Just so you know, that's not a good way to ask that question. Why don't you try by saying, what are your pronouns?
Yeah.
But some people are just immature
because I haven't done that, because as I said, I'm still new with learning shit.
Yeah.
Like before I got into the VTuber scene, like here in South Africa, a lot of people are like extremely conservative and all that. So it's like in when I was in high school, I graduated high school in 2019. That's when I got out, because as I said,
you're a youngin'
this year. Yeah, I am a youngin'. When you said you started YouTube in 2006, bro, I was 5. I was born in this millennium. No, millennium. Century? No. Century.
Old.
Yeah.
I'm an 80s baby.
Yeah, you're old. You've probably got double my age. You're welcome.
you know what? I'm used to that, because most people in the VTuber community are in their early to mid 20s.
Yeah.
And are like, they'll be like, oh man, I'm so old. I'm like,
most of them are in their mid to late 20s. You'd be surprised how not often people are younger or in my age range.
I've met one VTuber who's older than me. Like in years, like technically Sky's older than me, but she won't admit it. But there are, she's forever 23, and I'm like, no, you're not.
Why 23?
I don't know. Everybody wants to be 23, even though the Blink-182 song goes, nobody likes you when you're 23.
Oh, but the song, not the song, but it's go like Forever 21.
I know people just want to be 23 because 21 sounds really young, because it's just hitting the legal drinking age in the United States and all this stuff, and they're like, I want to say I'm a few years older than that, and it's like when people are like, I'm 23, I'm like, I don't believe you.
How about forever 26 because then when you die, people can have a conspiracy theory of you dying at 26.
Like when somebody
that.
has a when somebody has a birthday or they do like a birthday stream or something, I say happy 69th birthday. Or,
you know,
or in the case of,
if you do that next year, I'll especially like do a quick karaoke section where I'll fucking sing the Summer of '69 for you.
oh, I love that song. Or in the case of Eski's today, because Eski's birthday's today, I said happy 6,669th birthday.
Hell yeah, I like that. You know, I'm also a demon.
Hell
I also
yeah,
got to get that. I also got to get that treatment.
Well, next May, I'm going to be wishing you a happy 6,669th birthday.
Oh, yeah. You better. I'm going to remember.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to remember this. I'm going to be like, I'm going to fucking schedule a tweet like directly after stream saying like, I'm going to make it for the 25th of May, which is the day after. And I'm going to be like, Neko didn't say a happy 6,669th birthday to me. And I'm pissed. Sag, Madge, Dedge.
What happens if I do and then that post gets posted?
Then I'll remember to cancel it. Because if you do that, I'll be like, all right, I scheduled that tweet. And then I'll cancel it. Then I'll be like, there we go. We good now.
Goodness.
The debt has been fulfilled and you don't have to live through the shame of Twitter cancellation through a micro celeb. We'll move to the next question because we are running a bit low on time. We've got 15 minutes before you said you have to go, so we're gonna try and rush through some of the questions.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Lightning round. If you could rebrand, what would you rebrand into and why? No cyborgs, no Nekos.
You know what? I actually am surprised I didn't become a dragon girl because my Chinese zodiac sign is dragon. I love dragons. I mean, I'm dating one, so you know, I've always liked dragons and fiction stuff. I am so surprised I didn't go with Dragon Lady. If I was to reband, Dragon Lady.
All right, dragons. I want to make a D's nuts joke.
Dragon D's nuts across your
exactly.
You don't know how.
I'm sorry, you said dragons so many times, and I was like, dragons, Dragon D's nuts.
you don't know how much Karama has to resist the urge every day to make that joke to me because I make bad, dumb jokes and puns all the time, and she doesn't want to give me the satisfaction of doing one herself. So she's like, I resist the urge every day to not say it to you.
Meanwhile, I recently had a child, a VTuber child that is, and her name's Wendy.
Wendy's nuts gonna be in my mouth.
Exactly. She's a Wendigo. And every time I see her, I'm just like, Wendy's nuts. And she loves it. She approved of it. But the first time I did it, she was like, I did not expect that, bro. What the fuck?
When's she going to put them nuts? All right. Now that I've ruined everything.
All right. Now that we've ruined it, next question. So, you know, you said that you started way back in 2006. So why did you initially start making content?
The same reason I'm doing it now, because it's fun. I think one of the things that's hard for most people, especially coming into this VTuber community, is that I get all the time to like, oh, there's nobody in my chat, nobody's chatting, and I've got no viewers, and I feel like, you know, I'm not doing anything right. And the thing that I say to people, the advice I give is enjoy what you're doing with at the start, like have fun, and then when people start coming to chat and start following you and you start building a community, that's all extra stuff you get on top of having a great time. Like if basically the way it is, if I got no viewers, because I've had streams where I've had no chatters, barely any viewers, it still happens today. I was going to play the game anyways. So why not just stream it and make it available? Because, you know, if it helps someone, because recently I was told by someone that I helped give them the confidence to come out as trans, and that made me feel very good, because if it helps one person, then it's worth it. So for me, it's because I keep doing it because I have fun, and if it helps somebody, then perfect. Then I'm doing,
exactly what
I'm doing better than I ever could do.
Yeah.
Then so, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I've been at this content creation game for a long time, and I've never had success. Like, never had big success. I've never blown up. I've had friends around me who have blown up and become big, have big success stories and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I love what I'm doing. So if I love what I'm doing, and I can, make friends and a community, and in sometimes make money off of it, I'm winning.
Yeah. Honestly,
Exactly.
yeah, I can agree with that. And also, it's like, if you're not having fun, people tuning in can see that you're not having fun and you're being a Debbie Downer on their mood. Yeah.
They
It's like
know. Yeah.
And I mean, even then, you're playing the game that you wanted to stream. Just fucking play the game and enjoy it.
Exactly. And it's, it's my chance to share my experience with people as well.
Yeah.
Which, one thing that I've always done is when E3 comes around, or when, those big conferences come around, is I do reaction streams for those, because people want to see my legitimate first reactions. They like it when I do that. I actually had to make a rule on my Discord server to tell people, please don't spoil Nintendo Directs or other things, because people want my genuine reaction, and you're ruining it for everybody else if you do that. Luckily, it hasn't happened again, but it's one of those things where, like, it has before, and that's why I've said to people, please don't do this. You're ruining everybody else's fun. But yeah. And so that's why I'm like, if somebody is just watching and they're just, they've had a long day at work or something, or, they just had a rough day and they just want to throw something on to watch, then if they want to watch me, cool. I'm just doing my thing. So
I'm just like, please, put me on in the background. Fucking do whatever you want to do. If you're working on
I love lurkers,
and it's like, bruh, fucking please just put me
I
on.
love the lurkers. That's like 80% of my audience is lurkers. So I love them.
Same. I'm just like, just drop the lurk command in chat. Then I know you're here. Then I can say like, hey, you there? You that put me, you that just put me on the third fucking window on your second monitor. Fucking, you cool. Good luck with whatever the fuck you're doing.
Some people don't want you to know, but they also don't know that in mod chat on Twitch, you can see who's watching you.
You can't on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well,
so if I just open mod chat,
sometimes even if you're like actively watching and you're not typing anything in chat, sometimes you're not counted as a viewer. I don't know why. Like, even right now, let's say that there's that you've got like 7 of your friends watching the stream right now, right? It says there are 3 concurrent viewers, one of which is probably me because I've got the preview open.
It was literally 4 a second ago.
Yeah, it wasn't 4 a second ago. Yeah.
Also, view counters on YouTube and Twitch are broken. They'll tell you one thing in OBS, and then on this website it'll be completely different. And then you check your analytics. I always get my things afterwards, be like, here's how your stream went. And it said I had 15 viewers, and I'm like, but OBS said I had 3.
OBS doesn't tell me how many viewers I have. And honestly, I like it that way.
Yeah,
because I
that's
prefer
another
not to
piece
look
of
at my
advice.
stats.
That's another piece of advice I give people when they start out. It's like, don't look at your view count. Like, knowing the numbers is important, but when you start, it doesn't matter how many views you're making.
Yeah,
like,
you can check it afterwards. You can check it before, but during, just have your OBS open. Look at your stats, but not your stream stats. Your stream stats. And by that, I mean, look at the stats doc that says CPU usage 2.7 out of 3.2%. Frame drops, none. Frames missed due to rendering lag, 94 out of 180,000. That thing. Where it says if your stream is doing okay in terms of health. Just have that open, because I need that open, because sometimes my bitrate
I never
just
trust the
dies.
numbers while the stream's going on. I always check the stats afterwards, because that gives me accurate information.
I never check the stats afterwards, unless it's like been a week and I see that the video's popping off or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
But otherwise, once I end stream, I'll see, okay, so I had this many concurrent viewers max, this many average view time is about 6 minutes. It shows you the concurrent viewer graph and those things, and I'm like, whatever. Close, go back to YouTube
End
Studio.
of the day, the numbers are only important if you have over 100 people watching. That's basically what it becomes important.
Honestly, yeah.
If I was going for Twitch partner, which there's not really a big incentive to, so I don't know why I would. Like that's when I would care
Especially
about
not
my
recently.
viewership. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Like right now, we've got 2 people in chat, Hi Mira and Mafia. So current viewers is now saying 3, so it should go up there. It goes up to 4. It should probably go up to
4,
5 or
yeah.
something soon-ish. But yeah, so if you're watching on mobile, then usually, you know, you will count as a live viewer, like always, because you can't really put that on in the background. But otherwise, on PC, if you're watching it on the web browser, I don't know how it works. I've tried testing it before to see if people just like, you know, if they mute the stream, are they counted as a viewer, or do they like when somebody tunes in, they count as a viewer. That works. That is guaranteed that works. After like 5 to 10 minutes, they do not count as a viewer anymore if they're not chatting, and I don't know why that happens. Because guess what? That doesn't count towards my watch time. They're watching, but they don't count. And I don't know why that happens. And the same happens with if you mute the tab and not the stream. I don't know. There's testing that needs to happen that I just don't know how it works. It needs to be controlled in some way, and I just can't. But we'll move on to the next question. We've got about 5 minutes left. So quick fire to the answers. What's your preferred type of content to make?
My preferred type of content to make? I really like streaming. It's probably become it's the most well. First off, it's the easiest content to make because literally all I have to do is press a button, and
well, not if you're streaming on YouTube.
Well, yeah, I know. I used to stream on both platforms before I was Twitch affiliate because you were allowed to multi-stream.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to stream on both platforms. So, yeah, no, I understand that. But and I think also the other one that I like doing is I like doing the Let's Plays because it's literally me. It's the same as doing a stream, but I'm talking to nobody. So, and I just have to turn them into 15-minute videos. I can do them very quick like that. So like streaming is great, but you're usually there for hours. And if somebody comes in late, it's like, oh, I got to go back and watch hours of stuff. So not everybody wants to do that. With a Let's Play video, I can just go back to part 1 and start from the beginning and watch the whole thing through, sort of thing. So I like smaller form content. I know that YouTube loves long content, but like for me, it's like if I get a video and it's 45 minutes, I'm like, okay, it better be a topic I'm really interested in, or I'm not watching this video. Like, because I'm usually working on something while I'm watching YouTube, so it's like. So when somebody gives me a 10-minute video, I'm like, oh yes, perfect. I have 10 minutes I can use to watch and pay attention to this video. But if it's something else, like that's why I love somebody like oh my god, what's his name? The British guy who
Flipping Brit.
No, not Flipping Brit. No, the British guy who goes around and tries stuff. I forget his name. Tom Scott, I think it's Scott. Tom Scott. Yeah. I love it. His videos are short. All his videos are like under 15
under 8 minutes.
And they're perfect.
They're under 8 minutes because they don't get mid-rolls.
And that's the funny part is like I can binge like 10 of his videos in like no time. But if you give me a 45-minute video, I'm like, I can't watch that whole thing.
I usually watch,
but I'll spend the same amount of time.
The longer stuff because I usually watch them while I'm doing something else.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny. Lately, I've been watching documentaries while I work on video editing and other stuff. And so oftentimes like or something that's like crazy. Like I love Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst, for example. I'm rewatching all their Halloween episodes. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you know about Red Letter Media, but
I do not. They sound familiar though. I've probably watched a video of theirs at some point.
They originally did the Mr. Plinkett reviews, like the old Star Wars ones back in the day, but they do this series now called Best of the Worst, where they watch a bunch of really bad movies and they have to decide of the movies they watched that night which one was the best one. Yeah. And it's funny because there's some gems. I love B movies. There's some gems in there. But yeah, no, it's like I think to answer your question, streaming and the Let's Plays, those are the parts that I like the most.
All right. Next question then.
Mhm.
What keeps you going and keeps you motivated for making content? So like, what helps you fight burnout?
I think the thing that helps me fight burnout is really finding new things to do. Like, for example, YouTube shorts. I just started doing those recently, and literally all my YouTube shorts is me repurposing old content. Like I'm taking old clips or old video things from highlight videos and making them into shorts. And there's YouTube shorts that I've made that have more views than the videos they're from.
Honestly,
on my channel.
That's a great fucking idea.
So like I just
the truth of the
repurpose my
matter
shit.
is just like recycle your shit. Repurpose your content.
Dude, I have a playlist of stream highlights, like just like one-off clips and whatnot, because I used to edit them myself instead of using the clip feature on Twitch. I have a playlist of over 400 videos of just highlights. I'm literally going through and I'm repurposing best moments from those and turning them into shorts.
Hell yeah!
Like it's easier for me.
And
I mean,
what
I do is I'll usually
already there.
You've
already
I'll just edit. I'll edit like a week's worth of shorts in one night, and then I'll just post them every night.
Just post them all and then schedule them.
I'm gonna start scheduling them, I think, in the mornings, because I looked at my stats for shorts, and apparently people like watching my shorts at 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. in the morning, but I post them at like 2 a.m.
You know why?
So why?
They wake up, and then they're like, "Huh, I don't want to get out of bed just yet. I'll watch some TikTok or YouTube shorts." They open up the YouTube app. Shorts is right there in your fucking face. You click it. You're sat there watching for 30 minutes.
I've also noticed that in the mornings, because I stay up pretty late, that when I open the YouTube app, it starts with a short. Like it goes right to shorts now when it's in the morning.
Mine doesn't do that. Mine doesn't do that.
I'll just real quick to answer some of these questions in your chat. Is it a lot of work? Not really. It's actually the easiest to edit a YouTube short for me. It takes me maybe 10 minutes to edit one. So
for me, it depends on how I want to edit it. So I'll send you one, right? I'll send you the one that I said that flopped. And it's 35 seconds, but I did a lot of like subtitle effects. Because I fucking love doing subtitles, but subtitles are a pain because they take long.
I hate subtitles because they take so long. I try not to do them.
I love them, but that's it. That's the short that flopped. And if you want to watch it now real quick, I'll give you 35 seconds. Tell me if you're not gonna or if you are. But yeah, I'm assuming. For those wondering, I'll post it in chat. I'll post it in chat for those wondering. That's the short that I talked about, the one that flopped, that I might just honestly delete and re-upload. Because I wanted to do well, because I spent about like an hour on that 35 seconds.
That was amazing.
I spent an hour on those 35 seconds. Getting the framing right, if it was me editing it,
if it was me editing it, I would have ended it right when you shot the thing. That's when I would have cut it. And made it like 15, 20 seconds or something like that.
You know,
that's just the way I
might take that. I might take that and then I'll just fucking make it a hypercut where it's literally just fuck you.
Yeah.
And then end it there.
And I would zoom in on the thing that you shot getting shot.
And it getting back up, like, maybe? Or nah?
Maybe,
because it got back up after I shot it directly in the pooper.
You shoot it, it gets back up and you're like, oh shit, and that's where you cut it off.
perfectly cut screams.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Shorts
I have a little bit of time.
Yeah,
I have a little bit of time if you wanna.
Okay. We'll do. Let me see. We'll do 2 more questions. So first off, what's the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome as a VTuber? Or even just as a content creator, actually, if you want to make it broader.
I think the biggest hurdle I've had to overcome is basically just having the time to do all the stuff I want to do. Cause like I have so many unfinished projects for stuff, like, cause Like for example, my 15th anniversary game review that I want to get out before the end of the year, like I barely started it. And when I went to the States for a week to use a studio in Illinois to film a bunch of like very, very rare video game stuff for preservation videos, like rare video game equipment. I have like 15 hours of footage that I filmed there that I need to edit into videos, but they're not going to come out till next year. I just know they're not going to come out till next year. Just because of like trying to find time. I guess time management is my biggest hurdle, trying to find time for everything and also to have a regular life and to hang out with friends and stuff like that. So that's probably been the biggest hurdle for me. I'm getting better, but I'm still all over the place.
It is tough with all of the, because I mean, as a VTuber, you're managing everything yourself. You're your own marketer, social media manager, fucking content creator, editor, all of that. And it's very time consuming if you want to do shit properly. Like I guess you could literally just sit on Twitter a bit and then I'm gonna go live, just hit live and then that's it. And then once you finish, that's it. But if you really want to like get somewhere, you gotta do a bit of research, you gotta put effort in, you gotta edit your shit, you gotta make sure that you're getting your content on multiple platforms.
Having a schedule is so important too, like when you're streaming, because if you're just like, I'm gonna stream whenever, there's no guarantee that people are gonna show up. So I usually have schedule, and I do guerrilla streams from time to time, but most of the time I'm scheduled. Like I'm gonna like 9 o'clock is usually when I stream. I'm like, I'm gonna show up at 9. That's when I'm showing up.
Mine is like on Mondays I start at 12 p.m. CEST or South African Standard, that's SAST, South African Standard Time, that's GMT +2. We don't have daylight savings, so it's the same time straight throughout the year. But yeah, that's what made fucking organizing times around now difficult, because I don't know when you bitches stop using daylight savings.
we're in Eastern Daylight Time right now, and
I know y'all are still in daylight for now, but like next month I think it's ending around mid-October or end of October. No,
the way I remember is it's fall back and spring forward. We fall back an hour in the fall and we go ahead an hour into the spring.
In the spring, but it's only becoming winter now. Oh, wait, no, it's close to fall for you guys. No, it is fall for you guys now. So you should be falling back, which means daylight savings is going to be no longer in effect in the coming months.
We're going to be it's going to be we're going to be in Eastern Standard Time, not Eastern Daylight Time. So
which is fucking with my stuff, because that means that we're now an even further an hour apart. Because my time ain't changing. My 10 p.m. becomes your 3 p.m. instead of 4 p.m.
It's like 6 p.m. right now where I am at. So
yeah, you're exactly 6 hours behind me.
Right.
But it'll become 7 once it's standard time.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, time management.
Which is it is a thing that is difficult to manage, as I said. And I'm also struggling with it. So we're in this together. Woo!
Yay!
And then last question for now until I let you go. What's the happiest moment or the greatest achievement that you've had in VTubing and or content creation?
I think so when I started streaming regularly, I was already making game reviews and let's plays and stuff. I'm like, I already do a lot of content. Do I want to add another piece of content? And I said, okay. I said to myself, okay, I'm going to start streaming regularly, just a couple nights a week. If I can make I can get to 1,000 followers in 5 years, I will see that streaming is viable and I will keep doing it. And so before I became a VTuber, I had peaked in my 4th year as a streamer. I had peaked at 350 followers. And then when I became a VTuber, I got a boost. Because of the VTuber boost and the everything. I'm almost at I'm at 1420 now. Blaze it. So on my 5th anniversary, I think I was at 1,100 followers. And I'm not going to lie, I cried because I was like, I didn't think I would hit this number. Like, I thought, like, you know, I thought, you know, if you'd asked me a year earlier, there's no way I would have hit 1,000 followers because I was at 350 and I'd peaked. I wasn't gaining any more followers. I would gain followers and then some would unfollow. So I was stuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and I really started getting depressed. I was like, I guess streaming's over for me. Like maybe, you know, and I was like, maybe I'll just give up on the goal and I'll just keep going and see what happens. And that's when I discovered VTubers like Iron Master and stuff like that. And I was like, this is something I can do that is, you know, streaming got stale to me. That's basically what it started getting stale to me. And I think people could tell.
And I think also, sorry to chip in on that. The thing with like, you know, starting to stream as, I'm just going to say a flesh tuber, it's difficult because there are like, even without a cam, like, I don't know if you used cam or not. I'm assuming you didn't.
I couldn't back then because so back when I originally started streaming, I could only stream at 720p, 30 frames per second, and it had to be a console game because my computer was not strong enough to play PC games and stream them. And I couldn't do higher than 30 frames per second because my computer would, you know, it would crash. Yeah. So I had a capture card because I did Let's Plays for years. So I did only console games for the first 3.5 years until I bought my current machine, which has a 2060 Ti in it, 2060 Super in it, and you know has an i7 9770K in it, like good specs.
It's a decent rig.
And now I can do PC games and stream at the same time and stream at like full 60 frames per second. But back then, I could only do console games, and it had to be only at 30 frames per second because my computer couldn't handle it. I was using a dedicated capture card to do all the graphics work, essentially for my streams. And so back then I was restricted with what I had. So it's very much, you know, maybe it was a little bit of an ambitious goal to say, oh, I'll get 1,000 followers within 5 years. And it almost didn't happen. But if it wasn't, you know, for becoming a VTuber and finding myself more and people being able to see that, you know, that I was more happy with what I was doing, it got people to come to me more in droves. And I say, like ever since then, it's been the happiest I've ever been. When my 5th year stream anniversary came along, like that was the happiest moment of my life at that point, because I was like, you know, I set a goal, I did it. I surpassed it. And it's funny because I've always been kind of like down on myself for stuff like that. Like I never set goals too high, because if I set a goal too high, I won't achieve it. But this is the one goal I'm like, I think if I work hard enough, I can reach this many followers in this amount of time. Just another thing to just preface, it took me an entire year to get Twitch affiliate, because back then it was a lot harder to get affiliate. It took me an entire year, and now I have friends who get it in a week. So it's like, it's like, so I might be old man yelling at clouds, but I come from a time where, you know, like I don't take for granted anything I have. Like having so many followers, having, you know, a community of my own, being able to make money off of streaming, something that I never thought I'd be able to do. I don't take any of it for granted. And if if in the future I decide VTubing is no longer for me, I'll still be here doing something else. It'll just be something else, because that's always how I've done my content. I've moved on to something that I enjoyed doing. So at the end of the day, I'm happy with the way things are right now, and I'm not going anywhere.
Hell yeah. We've still got a lot to see from you. I think that is a great point to end this episode on. So, Zero, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being an absolutely amazing guest. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for assisting Iski, who will get on in the future at some point. So, yeah, just saying, before yesterday, I did not know Zero existed. But
Well, no, you can't get rid of me.
no, I can't.
You're
no.
trapped with me forever.
No, but you know what? I don't think I'm trapped here with you. I think you're trapped with me. So that's a problem that you might have to deal with.
You're lucky I'm not streaming right now, because when I'm streaming, I have a redeem for lewd jail, and I just gotta say, it's not very big, so you're probably gonna have to sit on my lap. So,
I'm glad you think that I'm gonna be the one on the lap.
oh my. All right.
With that, thanks
for
everybody
having
for
me.
stopping by. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like down below. Subscribe and ring the notification bell if you haven't. To our audio-only listeners, thank you for listening. If you want to catch these episodes live, we stream them every Friday night on my YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/Zarastro. That's ZARASTROCH. You can find all the links to do with the site on fnv.crd.co. Otherwise, make sure you go check out my wonderful guest, Zeromaster, on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. And that would be Zeromaster, ZEROMASTER, on Twitter and Twitch. And for YouTube, just add an LP at the end.
Thank you for saying Zed and not Z.
Yeah, we use British English. We spell color with a U.
Goodness. I know all my American friends think I'm weird when I spell color with a U. So, and I say Zed. But also, yeah, since I wanna just do a little challenge for your chat. If you're watching this after it's being streamed, type in the comments, type feet pics.
Oh God, please no. No. My chat does not, my viewers do not have thing for feet, okay? Or have things for feet. They have things for bellies, and that's why I've got my belly open. You see that? Do you see that?
All right. So in the chat, type
yum yum pum pum.
Type yum yum. If you made it this far into the video, I have one piece of criticism for you. You didn't tell people to smash the like button. They should smash it.
No, they should gently caress it.
Smash that like button.
No, they should gently caress it.
All right. Thanks again for having me on. And maybe, we'll get to know each other a little better. Maybe collab will happen at some point.
Collab at some point, maybe? We'll see. We'll see. Keep your eyes posted. Keep your eyes posted. Make sure you go check out both of us on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and all of that shit. Like button, smash or pass? Yes, Simon.
I'm a smash.
With that, thanks everybody for stopping by. I've been your host, Zara, and I will see you all in the next episode. But until then, ciao for now.
Bye.
Sun goes down, our spirits free. Nothing left but our